From Tally to Cali,
It's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, presented by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
One ball, corner pocket.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi.
And Corey Clark.
Wake up! What is up, everybody? It's Wake Up Warchant, presented by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, Tallahassee, Florida. Coming up on today's show, practice observations from perhaps the last session. We'll be able to see Florida State before they start their season against LSU on Sunday, and the Renegade Express, talking Noles and Tigers. Wake Up Warchant is presented by the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. This is where I tell you their daily lunch special, right, Corey? But there's probably a high percentage possibility that they might not have power. Maybe they've got backup generators. Maybe they do. So check them out. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. If they're functioning and up and running on Wednesday, which, golly, I sure hope they are, their lunch special will be chicken wings, 5 of them, and French fries. 5 of the best chicken wings in town. It's only $8.99 over at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, cptallybar.com, the website, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Warchant.com, Ultimate Civil Sports Source, 5-star rating and review. Subscribe. Wall Street Orlando, get your tickets. Block party, Saturday, meet and greet, 4 to 5 o'clock. Live headlines, 5 to 6 o'clock. We'll be partying in downtown Orlando all night long. And then Sunday, pregame show, postgame show, going till 1 a.m. Gene Williams, Tom Lang, Jeff Cameron, they're all involved. All hands on deck. We, too, are all hands on deck. We're going to crank out shows for you the rest of the week, we think. We're going to try somehow to piece it all together. Corey, I thought you're in Biloxi. Are you on the road still? What's going on? Give us your status.
I just hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah.
Thank heavens. I'm in Biloxi. We tried this on the drive to Biloxi.
Didn't work
out, but
nope.
I'm actually in the hotel in Biloxi now. So I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
You sound great, man. I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're out there. Being smart.
Dodging hurricanes.
Yeah.
Dodging hurricanes. And by the time people are listening to this, Aslan probably won't have power.
Probably won't. Just no trees through my house, please. No trees through my house or my car. That's just please.
And we want that for everyone.
Yes, yeah, for all of
everybody to avoid that. Yeah, this is in about a span of 12 hours. It turned to a pretty scary storm for Tallahassee.
Yeah,
so I do hope the people there are okay, including you, Aslan, as we talk here in the future.
Thanks. All right, so we're going to have 2 shows worth of Renegade Express. We're also going to have Matthew Bruni on the show tomorrow talking about the LSU game. I advise you to go check out the BengalTiger.com. I'm going to be on their podcast. And sometimes I think I might be better answering questions than asking questions because I ramble on too much. Go give it a listen. I might need some of your defense on the internet, everybody. I think LSU fans might come after me really upset, thinking that I've disrespected them and their chances. But I don't think so. I just saying what I've been seeing all season long, Corey, all preseason long. This team looks really good. What did you see from practice Tuesday that might have heartened you? For me, it was just to see Fabien Lovett back out there, the way he performed and some of the things that we saw. And then just, man, him physically, I've said this before, like he's built the way that you need those guys to be built, man. He's 22, 23 years old, grown man, traps, popping out like Corey Clark. For me, just seeing Fabien out there, it was a really nice sort of sign. What did you take away from Tuesday's practice observationally?
You know what heartened me, Aslan, was the drive over here to Biloxi on I-10 West, seeing all the power trucks on I-10 East.
Nice.
Heading into the eye of the storm to try to help out their fellow countrymen.
Hell yeah.
From different states coming to Florida to get to lend a helping hand. That's always we don't like this time of year because there's always hurricanes, but that always fills me a little bit of pride that there's so many people coming. I remember it might have been Michael driving up and seeing tow trucks on 85 and 75 South that were, one of them, I feel like they were from Connecticut, they were from Virginia, all coming down to help out their fellow Americans. So that always heartens me in the midst of a natural disaster.
Okay. What about football? What about the biggest game of the week one?
Let's get our priorities in order here. Let's talk about some football. Fabien, watching him do what he does and be so destructive these last few practices is a very good reminder that, he's a destructive force when he's healthy. And we didn't see him much last year. LSU remembers him, but that was the last time and really the only time he played like Fabien Lovett all of last season. He came back from injury, but he clearly wasn't himself. And you know, if you're getting that Fabien Lovett again, which I think you are, just judging again, he's not snatching true freshmen and pushing them like they're little children. He's doing it with 23-year-old men who have started 30 games of college football, and just pushing them like they're not there. So that fills you with that heartens you and fills you with the notion that, oh yeah, Fabien Lovett's really good, on top of what Braden Fisk has been all August.
Yep.
And what Jared Verse has been since he got here. You've got 3, I think, elite defensive linemen to go along with Patrick Payton, who might get there one day, who's bubbling with potential. So that's all. It's another reminder that, oh yeah, there's a dude that if he's fully healthy and in game shape, in good shape, is a difference maker and one of those special guys I've been talking about the last week or so. That guy can change a game by being on the field.
The schedule's a little bit different this week for Florida State, obviously, with having a Sunday game. The plan all along was for them to practice every single day this week heading into the game on Sunday. So I don't know if they're still going to practice today, but we were supposed to be able to go out and watch them practice on Thursday. We'll see if that still ends up happening, and they're going to practice Friday and Saturday without us being there. But period 3, that was one of the more intense 11-on-11 situations we saw. I think this day they might have made it a little bit of a different sort of Tuesday. But our guy Marquiston doesn't care about depth charts. He's just out there making jump man catches, one-handed in the air. Incredible catch by him. Offense was able to work into field goal range, and then Fitzy was able to knock it through the uprights. So they were humming along quite nice. Was there anything else? Like I know they didn't do a lot of 7-on-7, and they started doing some scout stuff. Was there anything else from practice? I know you did the observations, but anything else worth noting to the podcast folk?
Yeah, well, the people that want to know, get on the website. It's not that much. In fact, I think we got a new discount.
50% off!
Yeah, come on, gang. I mean, we can't keep doing this for y'all.
We can't, man.
We just can't. I mean, you're taking food out of Brady's mouth. You're taking power out
but
of
does he deserve to have full meals right now, Brady?
He deserves to still live.
Okay.
He still deserves to have sustenance. You're right. It should be like water and bread for about another month. But what I was going to say, if you want the full insight, go on the website and read it. But Hakeem Williams.
Yeah.
We talked about so many of the other receivers, and he's really come on the last, I think, week and a half, 2 weeks. He had some more opportunity because for other reasons to be working with let's just say better personnel, and he's really taken off, man. He had a couple catches in a row from Jordan Travis on Tuesday. He also in one-on-ones beat Fentrell Cypress twice. Once was which is cool that he's going up against a guy like that and winning. Maybe not if you're a Fentrell Cypress fan, but the first one was like a very contested, I don't know, man, 15-yard out where he does a couple of moves and then breaks to the sideline. Fentrell's right there, and he makes a really contested handsy catch with Cypress all over him. It's good coverage, just a better catch. And then the next one is like a 45-yarder downfield where he makes a great adjustment on a ball. And it's, he stops, goes up, Cypress goes by. It's like a 50-yard catch. And it's like, oh, yeah, man. And he's like number 7 on the depth chart or 8. Like, I don't even know where he stacks up on the depth chart. But it just reminds you again of this is a guy I think he's going to have he's made a believer out of me here these last couple of weeks. I was not in on him at all in the spring. He was out of shape. He wasn't certainly in Florida State shape. And then I didn't think he started off this August great. But, man, he has kind of come into his own, and he's showing some real flashes with that body type too, and the way he can move at that size. And I know he's not going to make much of an impact against LSU, probably at all. But it just, again, is another reminder of where this roster is now, where somebody like Hakeem Williams is an afterthought. And I don't mean that in a negative way, because Hakeem Williams is only an afterthought because of the really good, experienced guys ahead of him. If Hakeem Williams was on this team 2 years ago, Hakeem Williams would be starting. So that just shows you where he is now, where he's like, again, you got Keon and Johnny and Winston and Destin Hill came in. Van Dravius has some really nice, impressive moments always. That was my big takeaway is I think Hakeem is going to be very good one day.
Yeah, we can let him ripen. Like, we don't. He's not ripe right now. But we have the luxury of time now with the talent they have to allow him to ripen. So he'll be just perfect when they.
Also, how cool is it that he sees what it's supposed to look like? This is how programs sustain themselves, man. He's not learning on the fly from no one. he's not learning how Maurice Smith and Darius Washington had to with nobody teaching them. They had to just learn on their own and figure it out on their own. Now they get to teach that to the younger guys, and Hakeem Williams gets to see Keon Coleman every day. He gets to see Johnny Wilson every day. He gets to see what Winston Wright has gone through and what Dustin Hill went through, quite frankly, and how good Van Dravius was in the spring. It's like you either rise with the tide or you get left behind. And what's cool about him is he looks completely different than he did in the spring, because I think, number one, he got into shape, but he also realized, oh yeah, that 5-star was cool and all. Being a 5-star was cool and all, but I'm not good enough to play right now. And if I don't raise my game, I will never play here at Florida State. And so I just think that competition inside the room, not just against the other DBs, but the competition from the other wide receivers is a big deal.
Absolutely. VitaminEnergy.com, promo code WarChampBOGO, BOGO. So what are you telling me to do, Alison? What are we doing here? You go to VitaminEnergy.com. You figure out whether you want your workouts to be enhanced, your focus to be enhanced, maybe your immune system to be enhanced, maybe your mood to be enhanced, and then you're like, all right, I'll try it. And then you put that promo code in, and you can get another item of equal or lesser value for absolutely free. Because our guys at Vitamin Energy, they're Noles. They love the show. They love you more than they love the show. But it's all right. There's lots of love going on out there. Maybe I took the Vitamin Energy mood. Maybe I took the Vitamin Energy mood because I know I'm going to be without power probably for numerous days. And I don't care because I took Vitamin Energy mood. Maybe that is it. Go to VitaminEnergy.com. Use that promo code WarChampBOGO. Get yourself some vitamin energy. It's energy with benefits. Not only do you get all that caffeine that keeps you motoring and powering through, you get vitamins, good vitamins, essential vitamins. So use that promo code WarChampBOGO to take advantage of things. Shake it and take it. VitaminEnergy.com. We were able to speak to Coach Norvell after practice. Ask him about kind of Harold Perkins as much as we could, and how much they're going to have to, account for him and take inventory of where he is at on the field. And, he's seemingly going to be everywhere. And I don't know if that's like a good thing for LSU, like if you've got to make this young man do everything seemingly. But the fact that they're going to have to account for a guy like Harold Perkins, I mean, how much of it is just dictating terms to him? Do you think that Florida State's going to be able to kind of do what they want to do? Or how much do you think they'll have to really pay mind to where he's out on the field every single time, the way that Brian Kelly kind of talked about Jared Verse the other day, Corey?
Where he's lining up, but I think Florida State and Norvell is so confident in what he has, and these players should be confident in what they are, that they're not going to completely alter a game plan wherever. I think he's number 4 this year. Yeah. Wherever 4 lines up, I just think they're going to be like, okay, well, he's there, that's fine. Try to stop this. I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to, maybe, but that could change if he's just wrecking the game in the middle of the second quarter. Well, you got to make an adjustment, but I don't think they go into this telling their players, we're too scared of this guy. We can't block this guy. We can't get around this guy. We can't outrun this guy. I just think they're treating him like he's good, and he's not just another guy. But I don't think you go into the game telling your players this guy is the dude we have to contain. Because I think they are so confident in what they are, they don't think there's any one player on any team that can disrupt what they're trying to do. As good as Perkins is, and he's one of the better ones in the country.
I mean, I don't say this as like a trick question, but if Harold Perkins does wreck this game, will it be because the LSU's outplayed Florida State, or will that be because LSU's found a way to outcoach Florida State? Because, and speaking to Matthew Bruni about this, like I'm not glossing over what Harold Perkins is, but I'm like, yeah, I mean, he's one guy. Like if your whole basis for thinking that LSU is going to be able to pull off this win is because Harold Perkins is going to be able to disrupt this game enough to make Florida State, turn the ball over a bunch, like I like Florida State's odds in this in that matter. But what if he does get 6 pressures, 3 sacks, forces a fumble, maybe tips a ball? Will that be because he just simply outplayed and is an absolute freakish athlete, or they didn't do a good job of really accounting for what he does?
It can be one play that changes the game, and he's one of those guys that can be quiet for 35 snaps out of 38 snaps. But those 3 snaps are, like you said, maybe a strip sack from behind. Maybe he races. He forces a fumble on Travis because Travis can't get rid of the ball in time because he's the one maybe linebacker in the country that can run with him. A tip pass that becomes an interception. Those freakish plays that freaks make. And, while you were talking about that, I remember, and it's a forgotten play and what became a very forgettable game. But there was a play early on in the Alabama game when Florida State played Alabama in 17 where Derwin James is rushing. I guess it would have been Jalen Hurts was the quarterback,
Yep.
and he's in his face. Hurts tries to throw it over him. He leaps at just the perfect time, bats the ball in the air. It almost comes down with an interception that would have been a pick six. And the play itself is an amazing play. It's a freakish way to jump that quickly and that high. But if he makes that play and turns that pass breakup into a touchdown, well, that's the plays that these kind of guys make. So if you can just avoid that, you should be okay. Like, he's going to have some pressures and he's going to have some tackles. But if he doesn't make the game-changing plays, then you're fine. It's just a matter of you never know when those are going to be and what they manifest themselves as. Could be a strip sack, could be a forced fumble, could be an interception, could be an interception in the end zone. Verse had a couple of sacks last year and a block kick. So there's a lot of different ways to impact the game. Just keep him from dominating it.
I saw the headline on this. I haven't actually heard the words out of Deion Sanders' mouth, but apparently he was asked about the Florida State-Miami game and about his allegiance to maybe Florida State, and he had a very interesting response. Have you heard it yet, Corey?
Hurricanes like myself.
Yeah.
And you're a Nole, my friend.
No. Actually, do you know where I graduated from? Yeah. Who said that? You know everything. She didn't know that. They didn't know that. Tell them again, where did I graduate? I graduated from HBCU.
Well,
so I'm a who?
Well, you're still a Nole.
I'm a who? I thought it's where you graduate from, isn't it? How you keep calling me that? It goes to where I graduated from. I'm a HBCU grad.
You were smiling the entire time, Corey. But I know that's probably not what you want to hear from your most decorated, talented alumnus, at least football-wise, American football-wise. Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it's Deion. What are we good? We can't sully up FSU LSU week with Deion talk.
Ask and you shall receive. Very well. Let's move on. We already answered these questions kind of, but let's do it again, Corey, because now you're in place in Biloxi. Drill Sergeant Porter, not a question, just wants to talk about him being very optimistic about the season and this huge game. By the end of September, we'll know a lot about this team. I look forward as well to being out of the ACC whenever that may be. Corey was right that only a few of the programs really care about football. I'm not a fan of the Boston College program, but they did help us back in 1993. Anyways, you guys are awesome as always. I listen every day, even though I don't post much. Go Noles.
That's a great point, Drill Sergeant. We'll always remember. We'll always have David Gordon in 1993 helping. He didn't win Florida State the national championship. They still had to go do it on their own. But knocking Notre Dame off and giving Florida State a chance to go win one against Nebraska. That was Boston College, 41-39, 1993. They should always have a soft spot in Florida State fans' hearts.
Riser Mike, from what I've read, LSU last year had the option to choose the game that Mason Smith, that wildly talented defensive lineman of theirs, would sit for suspension. Why didn't they just delay news of a season-ending injury and say that he was going to sit out game 2, then announce the injury before week 3? This seems like a way they could have adverted the system.
Yeah, or I thought maybe just have a miraculous recovery in November, before the A&M game. Go you guys aren't going to believe this, but Mason Smith practiced. He was full go. Nobody is allowed to watch practice anywhere. He was full go. We're ready for him to wreak havoc on that A&M offense. But you know what? He's going to be suspended. It's just crazy that they let that happen. Because it's such a dumb rule. It's such a dumb reason for him to be suspended that they should have absolutely said, you know what? No, it's not a torn ACL. He's fine. He's fine. He's going to play against A&M. But you know what? Because we're sticklers for the rules, we're going to sit him out. But he's eligible. He would play. He wants to play. That's a good point, but it's crazy he's not playing.
Yeah.
It's crazier he's not playing than Daryl Jackson not playing.
Yeah. How do they not get Grambling to move up to week 0? They couldn't cut them a check for $300,000 more dollars, but hey, move up to week 0. We'll play you guys then. We'll suspend them.
Apparently they're not afraid of Florida State is what it sounds like. They think they can beat Florida State without Mason Smith. I hope that's on the bulletin board somewhere in the locker room because they have a bulletin board in there.
Yeah. Actually, I think that was the plan. They tried to move the Grambling game up, but I don't know why. I'm sure it was explained why it didn't, but I didn't click on the story because I don't do that. Noel Boy 02, our guy. Welcome to football, gentlemen. Who do you think scores the first touchdown?
Somebody asked us this on headlines today, and Jeff's like, what are we, fortune tellers? I don't know. I would say, I think I said there Jaheim Bell.
Ooh, all right.
But Jeff was even like, who is it? A Florida State, LSU guy? We don't know. Jaden Daniels?
Right.
But Jaheim Bell was my answer.
I'll go Keon Coleman.
Okay, starting off early, starting off his FSU career with a bang.
Yeah, I like it. Shout out Noel Boyo, too. By the way, that's not going to be a prop on there, but we have over-under contest that's going to be running this season. Again, it's back. $25 gift card to Garnet and Gold, but you have to be a member of warchant.com to be involved in that one. And it's, again, 50% off like Corey said, so what are you waiting for? C, FSU 78, wake up. I try not to sip Kool-Aid without seeing the product on the field first.
Correct him, Aslan. What does he try not to sip?
The Flavor Aid.
Flavor Aid, correct. Come on, guys. If we're going to make reference to Jonestown and the Reverend Jim Jones, let's get the product right. It wasn't Kool-Aid, it was Flavor Aid.
I got to see the product on the field first. But I cannot help myself this year. I'm drinking from the fountain, baby. Okay. So help me come back down to earth. Tell me why we would lose this game barring self-inflicted wounds and things outside of our control. Well, turnovers are kind of part of your control, but things out of our control like turnovers, penalties, injuries, etc. Tell me what I'm missing here.
I think Florida State's a better team. I don't think I'm a homer in that sense. I just think they're a better, more experienced team. But when you're talking about a matchup of two teams the spread is like 4 or 5 points one way or the other. Like Florida State's not 2 touchdowns better than this team.
No.
If anything, they're less than a touchdown. It's 3 to 5 points, in my opinion. So that literally can be the difference between blocking an extra point and not blocking an extra point. Like LSU's good. They got scholarship guys too, and they got dudes that'll be playing in the league on Sunday. So you might play I think what I was thinking about on the drive over from Biloxi or to Biloxi from Tallahassee was what I like about this team, what gets you excited about this team is I think if Florida State plays well in this game, it will win comfortably. Mm-hmm. If Florida State doesn't play well, it could still somehow eke out a win. Because I think that's what the talent level is. And I think that goes for every game they play. Like, if they play well at Clemson, they're going to beat Clemson. Like, I don't think there's anybody on their schedule that if both teams play well, Florida State is losing. If Florida State plays well on Sunday night, they're going to win. And that means, no stupid turnovers, not 120 yards in penalties, no, toss pitches on the one, things like that, gang. If they just play, what we've seen all August, they're going to win this game. But it's sports, and it's the season opener, and crazy stuff happens. So that's what I think that would be the way to come down to earth. Is just look, some bad things happen, man. A sprained ankle to the wrong person, a receiver falls down on a good throw and ends up being a pick six. Just stuff like that happens because it's sports. That's why we love it, but that's why it can be maddening. But if this team plays well, it's beating LSU, and it might beat LSU by multiple scores.
To answer the question, if you want to be brought down to earth, if you're one of those kind of guys, you can go ahead and skip forward like a minute and a half if you don't want to listen to this sort of stuff.
Oh, boy.
Florida State maybe doesn't have elite linebacker play.
Sure.
Maybe LSU finds Mason Taylor enough to create a lot of problems for Florida State. And there is a possibility that LSU has a very good offensive line, maybe a little bit better than Florida State's, and they could maybe run the ball better than they were able to last year. But I don't know, man. I love Florida State's defensive line, so I think it's a matchup of a possibly elite offensive line against a possibly elite defensive line. And then it's a matchup of LSU's good defensive line against Florida State's very good offensive line. Okay. So it might be a wash, Florida State's defense versus LSU's offense. But, man, I think Florida State's offense is going to be able to have a much easier time against LSU's defense. But, problem-wise, that Mason Taylor might be a guy that just they don't have an answer for him. He might be able to catch 7 passes, 8 passes. And then Harold Perkins, if he wrecks 2 drives with huge negative plays on second down, that could affect a game that's only a 2.5-point margin by folks that know these sort of things. So those are the things that you kind of have to factor. But again, those aren't your tight end going nuts and your linebacker going nuts. I'd rather have the other side of that coin where it's like, to your point, Corey, like play well, not necessarily amazing, but play good and you still probably win because that's where they're at.
And I think I kind of took the question more as like a season opening question, not just LSU specific, but like he's so excited about the season, not just the game, and why you should be excited about this season. I just think it's because of what I said. I think that this team is good enough to play poorly and win, play average and win pretty big against some teams, and then play good and beat anybody. That's why I think you should be, excited about this. But again, you don't play well every week, and season openers are absolutely a crapshoot. And they did not open their season with LSU last year. This is a whole different animal to go from Duquesne to LSU to start a season. So it's always weird to start a season anyway. Now you're doing it against one of the, the number 5 team in America. So there might be some, a learning curve and some growing pains because it's a new team. But man, it's been fun to watch and practice for sure.
All right, very good transition. Knoll Boy 1987. Wake up, fellas. Corey, speaking of high school love, on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to throw your inhibitions to the wind and predict a national championship appearance for this team? The hype train after Norvell's presser is off the charts now. Aslan, you're the best.
That's nice. That's a reference to my column where I the column that you guys should read on Warchant. I know Aslan read it very quickly as soon as he saw it.
Yep. I have notifications. I have notifications that makes my phone ping whenever Corey drops a column or a story on the site.
And you shouldn't be the only one, should you? That should be everyone. No, and I basically just said you could tell by the way these coaches talked about this team how much they really like this team. They're in love with it almost. And so, yeah.
Come on, Corey, do it.
No. Because I don't know the point of it. You guys know where I stand on this team. I think it's very good, but I'm too pragmatic to just say, yeah, they're going to win 12 games and get to the national championship because there have been better teams than this. Not just Florida State teams. There have been better teams in the last 5 years all across the country that didn't do that. It's just you got to get a little bit of luck. But you've got to be prepared when you get an opportunity to be lucky. Being prepared for that lucky moment is where I think Florida State can make some hay this year. They are good enough that if they get some luck to go their way, the luck that goes their way won't have them at 10-3. It'll have them at 12-1 or 13-0. But I'm not going to predict that. I'm going to predict if they stay healthy, they'll be one of the 5 or 6 best teams in the country. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. That's all I can do.
I argue that, man, being pragmatic is looking at the fact that you got Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman and Jaheim Bell and Trey Benson and Jordan Travis, and like how does that not figure out a way 11 out of 12 weeks, 12 out of 13 weeks? You've got Braden Fisk and you have Fabien Lovett and you have, Renardo Green and Azarie Thomas. I mean, you have all these pieces. I mean, and you look at, again, the schedule too. I think that's kind of being pragmatic too, but all right, top 5, top 6, that's close. That's close enough.
Yeah.
We'll work on that one.
Right in the hunt. You were in the hunt.
MyBookie.ag. Go there, sign up for the first time, and use our promo code WARCHANT. They'll give you free money. They'll give you free cash right into your account that you can use to bet on games, whether it's games happening this week, maybe next week, maybe even further down the line, maybe Heisman stuff, national championship playoff stuff, casino stuff, golf, Ryder Cup stuff. I don't know, is Ryder Cup happening now? Or I know they picked the teams, but I digress. MyBookie.ag is where you're going to want to go. Use that promo code WARCHANT. Get yourself hooked on up. Gators taking on Utah. Man, come on, Kyle. One time for the home guys. Come on, man. They're taking on the Gators, Utah. That is in Great Salt Lake. That game, I don't even know if it's available right now. 6.5 is the last time it went off, so see how you want to do on that one. Just win, though, Utes. We don't care if it's pretty. Just win. You go to mybookie.ag and just use that promo code WARCHANT. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere at mybookie.ag. I thought we racked this up on the live show last week because we weren't able to get to it the first time around. But our guy Whack169, wake up, guys. Hope all is well. I asked the question I asked last week, but didn't hear an answer. I don't know if this can be answered because we've never had this kind of access before, Corey, but it's for you, so I'll let you answer it. I know you guys, especially Corey, have covered a lot of FSU football, so my questions are twofold. One, did you see anything in fall camp this year that reminded you of something you saw in a past camp that portended good things for that team? Second part, I remember one fall camp, DBs were dominating. I got excited, but then I found out the receivers were horrible. That's not the situation here, right?
We did answer that question.
Yeah, I thought we did.
Maybe we asked that question and I took us on a tangent, but I definitely remember that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, we did it on the live show. We didn't do the Renegade Express. We didn't get to a couple of questions, and we did the leftovers at the beginning of the live show, but we did get to it. But, yeah, I mean, 2013, you only saw them practice once, so it would have been a big leap of faith to make a proclamation.
Yes, and when Willie was here, I think we got to see one spring practice or two. And then when Jimbo was here, it was the same thing. I think we'd see one or two spring practices and then one practice that was open to the public in the fall, and that's it. So it is impossible to – that's why I love this access so much, but it's why I always try to contextualize what I say, because I don't know what the 2013 team looked like in August. I know it was really good, and I know they talked a lot, but I have no way of comparing it, because until Mike Norvell got here, and even his first year, we didn't get to. So only the last 3 years have we been able to watch full practices. And I can tell you this, the 2023 team is a lot better in August than the 2021 team was.
There we go. There we go. That's the stuff people come to the show for.
Oh, yeah. Andrew Parchment would have a tough time starting on this team. Love you, Andrew.
Nole Dad for life. Wake up, fellas. So I was rewatching the LSU game last year, and I think our team improved more than they did. And for that simple reason, I have a lot of hope for this game. That being said, if we win, what will the headline on Corey's post-game column be? P.S. My son's first birthday is Saturday, but I'll see you all on Sunday for the pregame. Go Noles.
Nice. Well, happy birthday to him.
Yeah, yeah.
He won't remember it, though. So play this for him in 5 years. Yeah, I honestly think it'll be something to the tune of the wide receivers and the quarterback are just too good. Basically, like, told you this is gonna be a real hard offense to stop. Told you it's gonna be almost impossible to stop when they play well. That's what I think. If they win, those two dudes out wide, along with your quarterback, will just have some plays where you can't defend it, and they score in the mid-30s or whatever they end up scoring, and that will be why they win. So I think that would be the headline. And if they lose, I'm not writing about it. Don't even want to talk about it.
I was gonna say, like, got that Tiger. Maybe that would be the headline. Instead of get that.
All right.
Maybe
being clever, like a pun.
Yeah, or maybe mix in something with like Disney and Florida State. I don't know, something. I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow.
O-Face for Orlando.
All right, there you go. Maybe some in sync stuff we can maybe drop in there.
Okay.
It's going to be May. I don't know. Then maybe like.
Wait, let's move
on. Let's move on. Move on. SR5, wake up. Who do you guys have in the battle for the real Miami? Miami of Ohio or Miami, Florida?
Probably Miami, Florida. I think they got a better quarterback.
Apparently hurt his thumb, throwing hand.
Oh, TBD did?
Yeah.
Man, these quarterbacks can't get right. They can't stay healthy. Is the kid from Utah going to play?
I hope so. I think so. His coach said the other day, like, yeah, I'm going to give him until 10 minutes before kickoff before I'm going to make a determination on it. By the way, the Miami game, the over-under is 45.5, and the Canes are favored by 17. So that's a very strange calculus there, but I think the Canes, they might not cover, probably won't, but they'll probably win. Let's go to our guy Walker in Mississippi, the Walking Nolo 1. Thank goodness we made it here, gentlemen. Glad to be this close to the game. This goes to both of you. What is one play you would call during the LSU game with all the weapons we have to choose from? You can keep it generic so I don't get you guys in trouble. Thanks for all you do. Go Noles.
Well, it's hard to keep it. I don't know, a fade to Johnny.
Right.
What? Not even.
I will say this. I'll be somewhat generic. It's what I saw on Tuesday. I saw something they did on Tuesday where I'm like, run that. That.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great That's a great call, Aslan. And we're going to tell you folks. I don't know if they'll run it on Sunday or when they run it, but we're going to remind when you see it. You might even know. Oh, that must have been what they were talking about. It's They need to do that, and not just once this season.
No.
That's a good play. But I would say I've always made this point when it comes to fades. Johnny's 6'7", right?
Yeah.
Why run a fade to him when you literally could just lob it up at the goal line and let him box out the DB, jump up and catch it?
Well, what do you mean they'll lob it up, like throw it underhand? I mean, like
no. Like, usually when Johnny Wilson's you got the ball at the 5,
right,
and you're just going to throw it to the end zone. These quarterbacks try to be so fine, they try to throw it to the back corner.
Yeah.
And you don't need to do that. If anything, throw it to the front pylon. And as long as he gets his feet over the goal line, let him then turn around. The DB's behind him, box him out, jump up and catch it, just like a jump ball, like a legitimate jump ball, not like a fade where you have to go make a running catch and get both like that catch he made from Rodemaker in Louisville. That's an incredible catch, but the degree of difficulty is way higher than it needs to be when you're 6'7". So if I was the OC, I would work for 20 minutes a day. Well, no, 20 minutes a week on just that throw to Johnny Wilson.
I mean, if they're playing off of him, yeah, you can do that. But I mean, if they're not, if they're jamming him,
right.
then you might
go by. Yeah.
So,
but still,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I got
you don't have to make it where he has to run full speed and then go get both. You don't have to be fine with that throw. Like Jameis didn't make a great throw to Kelvin Benjamin. It's a nice throw. It's high. Yeah. He just put it in a place where only Kelvin could go get it. But it wasn't a perfect throw. But nobody can do anything with Kelvin Benjamin, and not many people can do anything with Johnny Wilson. Yeah. He made a great catch in one-on-ones on Tuesday too, by the way.
Yeah, we mentioned this on the first go-around of the show that we had to scrap, but like that play that we're both referencing here, like I know there's 11 more games after this, more than that, obviously, bowl games, conference championship games, playoff games.
Yep.
But man, I hope that they empty the clip against LSU. Like not being like arrogant, not trying to like show them up, but man, I hope that they're not going to be like, well, I don't know if we want to use this one right now. Man, I hope they deploy everything they have. Like, would you deploy everything you had to make sure you win this game, or do you really have to factor in that you've got 11 more games, for sure set in stone to play?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you do everything you can to win this game. And if you've got some plays in your back pocket that you think are indefensible, you'll run it in this game, especially if it's, the third quarter, you're down by 6 or you're up by 6 or whatever you got to do to put the game away. You or get it back in the game. Yes, I think anything that you think will work, that will catch them off balance, or it's just a really well-designed play, run it. That said, I don't get the sense that Florida State, Mark Norvell does not want to live on chicanery. He's not about that life. He's not what does he run what does he run? 4 trick plays since he's been here. That's not part really of it. And these weren't the stuff we've liked isn't necessarily even trick plays. It's just cool schematic stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I don't foresee him double, triple, quadruple reverses every other play. I just think that they think they're good enough on offense. They don't have to resort to that kind of stuff.
Right.
But yes, man, I definitely think if they've got plays that they think are automatic, they're not saving them for Clemson. They'll make Clemson have to work on defending it. Like they'll put it on film because this is the game. Don't save anything for anybody else. This is the game.
Noles, wake up. Here's to the best podcast on air. Thank you for walking us through the offseason to game week. I do think we're going to play very well and do some great things. As long as we don't have any bad injuries and this team stays a team. A lot of people look at the depth chart and are making some good points, but I hope the young men understand their time will come. Stay safe in these tropical storm winds. Thank you, Gio. Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
More than that, we're getting Tallahassee, by the time some people listen to this, will have been slammed with an absolute hurricane.
Great. Can't wait.
Yeah, let's.
Vicarous Sam. When was the last time you saw this much love from the Warchant team? 2012, 2013, 2014? I don't know, like 2017, I feel like there was probably some good vibes there, but I don't know. I don't think we even felt this good about probably 2012. I feel like 12 and 14, there's more preseason hype than 13, yeah?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. 13, just the unknown of not knowing what a freshman quarterback would do, even with all that talent around him. In 12 you had EJ as a senior, and then 14 obviously you had a lot of that team coming back. So yeah, but I wasn't at Warchant back then, so I can't speak to it. I do know that people were very excited those 3 years, and the 4 and 15 and 16 and 17. Then it hit a tank. But yeah, I mean, I just think that I think a lot of it has to do with these players, getting to know them, feeling like and respecting them for joining a program that wasn't the 90s Florida State. And, if this team can go and accomplish some great things, I think it will have an all-time place. And I'm not even talking about a championship, because, of course, a national championship would put it among the all-time favorite teams of Florida State fans. If it can go 11 or 12 wins again, if it can stay in the top 10 all season, this collection of dudes that have brought Florida State back from the depths of despair and hell and Hades and whatever else you want to say, they'll always have a special place, I think, in Florida State fans' memories. It's just cool that there's a team like this again to cover, and a coach like this that lets us watch almost everything.
Yeah, just win, baby. Just win.
Just win. Yep. Well said. Hey, you made that, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. Maybe I should patent that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Shake and Baker, wake up. With Destin Hill's first start being against his home LSU team, do you think that provides a little extra spark to break 100 yards right out the gate?
Let's slow down. Again, I don't know that any of the receivers will have 100 yards, and he is right now, at best, the third receiver on this team. And there's no guarantee he starts. It's an or. It might be Winston Wright. And I don't know if this was a tongue-in-cheek question. I do think that Destin Hill is a different dude. I think he is going to be very good and a very big player for this team this year. But I'm not predicting 100 yards in his first game. Just how about a couple of first downs? Just get a couple of first downs. That'll be cool to see.
Dad corner time, primetime 92. Wake up, ladies. This question's for Corey. I hear Corey being hard on his son for some typical teenager stuff that I'm sure we all did at his age. Corey, I know you are now all healthy, disciplined, and dedicated to being more in shape, but let's not forget 5 years ago you were an unhealthy – these are his words. I'm just reading the words on the screen. You were an unhealthy, sloppy, middle-aged man.
Babe, you can't laugh at this. Don't laugh at that.
Your son will also figure it out, so cut him some slack. Love you guys.
Well, yeah, that wasn't even a dad's corner. There's just more of a dad getting admonished. But hey, fair enough. It's fair enough. We all grow up at different times. Who am I? You know what I mean? Who am I?
So is it the fact that you feel like he doesn't realize how smart you are, that he can't try to, like, he's trying to hustle the ultimate hustler? Like, you can't tell me these lies almost. You can't propagate this stuff to me, Brady. I know you're lying. Like, is that what aggravates you? It's like, realize that your father's intelligent and, like, this is not the way to go about it.
Don't insult me by thinking you're smarter than me. That's just crazy. It's nutty that teenagers think that not only do they think they know everything, they think we're oblivious and couldn't figure out some stupid white lie. It's crazy. But I can't wait. As you were saying that, I just can't wait when he has a son or daughter, probably a son, let's be honest. I guess teenage daughters aren't a walk in the park either, that the first time he lies to him and just straight up, no, I promise you, just like right in the eyes, I promise you that's not what happened. No, I promise. And he's going to know, he's going to be like, are you kidding? And then he's going to realize how dumb it was to do it to me.
Oh, man. I can't wait till he's like 30 and you guys have beers and, like, he's figured all this stuff out and just how awesome it's going to be.
Then he's going to admit all the other stuff I never found out about. Like, you thought I was dumb. You don't even know half of what I got away with. Well, right under your nose. So I will say, I don't know if I'd describe myself as sloppy.
No, I don't want to either. That was rude. That was rude prime time.
It was fair. It was a fair point. But I was certainly not in great shape. Let's put it that way. There's degrees of sloppiness.
All right, that's probably a good place to end it then. Corey loves his son, obviously. Brady, can't wait to see you in downtown Orlando, man. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. All right, so that's a wrap for this show. Fingers crossed I have power. Probably won't. I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that I probably won't have power, and that's fine. It's fine. It happens. But guess what? We're going to have a show tomorrow, too. Promise. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks for listening, everybody. We certainly appreciate it. If you could hit that thumbs up on the way out or maybe subscribe to our podcast on the Apple side of things, that'd be great. And take advantage, again, of that subscription special, 50% off. 50% off for an entire year. I didn't know it was coming, everybody. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I would have let you know to not sign up for the 25% off had I known. But I didn't know. They don't tell me these things. We love you, though. Thanks for listening to Wake Up Warchant, presented by the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.